My personal opinion, if Joshua make sidestep in this moment, if all boxing audience expect the rematch and want to see the Joshua Usyk fight, it show weakness of Joshua, and Joshua, don't do that, please. It will be a mistake from my side, from my point of view.
What's good, family? Shout out to my general, Aaron Baker, for sending in them coins, no doubt. So we just heard there from your mans, Vitali, very nice, your wife nice, I like, very nice. Klitschko, airing out, Anthony Johnston, having a quick go on him. But to be fair, listen, Vitali was having a nice go on Johnston. What would you call it? A fatherly go on Johnston. But this shows you how bad. And to be honest, I'm not even going to indict the whole sport. I was about to say this shows you how bad the whole sport of heavyweight boxing is right now. But in reality, I'm going to indict Anthony Johnson himself. Imagine that. I remember back in the times of the 90s and 80s, yeah, where older fighters wouldn't really comment so much on the younger ones because they was holding their own, they was doing their own thing, yeah. Ali would almost look down and see all of his kids running around, and you know what I'm saying, like Mike. I remember seeing Mike and Ali on a TV show, very respectful, but you never had to have, well, you never really saw Ali having to check any of these youngers because they was, for the most part, they was doing what they're supposed to be doing, yeah, in there, getting stuck in, representing the sport well. Fast forward 40 years, 30 years, and we've now got the old time cats, because to be fair to Vitali was serious, he was real. Vitali was as real as it gets, especially for these new age times, yeah? Vitali proved in that Lewis fight that he ain't no Vladimir for a start, he ain't soft like Vladimir. Vladimir is more new age, but Vitali was certainly from the old crust. You can't deny that. He went in there and got stuck in, and listen, he put Lennox Lewis into retirement, that's a fact. Lewis could have come out and took a piece. He didn't want a piece. Vitali was begging for the rematch. He didn't want that. He didn't want none. Yeah, and to be fair, Lennox wasn't even that old then. So that shows you how serious Vitali was. Lennox was only 38, which really isn't that old. When you think about AJ going life and death with Mr. 42-year-old Vlad, wow. And AJ was in the prime of his life then as well. And you went 50-50 with him. And Vladimir Klitschko went no Lennox Lewis either. So AJ went life and death with a 42-year-old dude who was never that aggressive. Meanwhile, Vitali had a similarly close fight with Lennox Lewis, but who was 38. And then 4 years of you're exponentially fresher at 38 than you are at 42. Age, it's not linear. It's an expo thing. Yeah? Because trust me, by the time you're 50, look at Roy Jones. Or the other guy, what's the guy who ain't got no legs no more? I forgot the guy. Oh, that's it. Holyfield. Look at Holyfield. Yeah? Trust me, age is exponential. You get exponentially old and dusty looking. And anyway, the point is here, people. It's bad right now for Anthony Zest Johnston. He's having to be. And I salute Vitali. But you can almost see the disappointment in his eyes. He's thinking, what have we come to here? I've got to beg. I've got a father. I've got a son. One of the alleged top heavyweights in the world right now. On basic things. These, like, years ago, these things went without saying. It went without saying that you don't run from middleweights who filled you in. It went without saying that you go in there and you handle your business how you're supposed to handle it. You don't go running. You don't go begging people to handle the work for you. You don't go trying to be a businessman. And Vitali and Vladimir, they're some of the most well-known business people in the sport. But still, that shows you the desperation here. And the thing is, no word of a lie, in the 6-7 years of AJ's boxing career, yeah, I've never heard Vitali comment once. This shows you, I'm hearing a lot of the boxing greats had a conference or had a kind of commission meeting the other day to discuss this. Because trust me, This whole situation regarding Anthony Johnson is bringing the sport into disrepute. It's a laughing stock. Anthony Johnson and the boxing, or the part of boxing he represents, is an absolute laughing stock right now. Number one, you allowed a man to beat you. That's the first thing, but it's acceptable. People lose. But that was the first. I'm going to break it all down for you. I'm going to break down all the things that have got Anthony Johnson down bad. Like I said, number one was the fact you got beat in the first place. You're not supposed to lose to every single able-bodied person you go in there with. Because I'm sorry, people, if AJ doesn't go in there with an old dude, he gets beat. Ruiz, beat. Usyk, beat. Pulev, he can beat. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone, if you're old, AJ probably beat you. Povetkin, he wins. But then Ruiz and Usyk, he loses. Why is it you can beat all the old ones, but anyone young, you get knocked out? Or you get moshed to bits? That's the first thing. You lose all the time to young people. The next thing. Not only did you lose, you lost on home turf and showed no pride. Not only did you lose on home turf and showed no pride, you then lost on home turf with no pride to a middleweight. But not only did you lose on home turf to a middleweight, you then try and bring in, or you beg another man to handle your work for you. No word of a lie. Before you get to this position that you find Anthony Johnson in, you're supposed to do something which is called retirement. That's what you're supposed to do, honestly. If you ever get to the point, where you can't or you don't want to defend yourself against a middleweight on your home turf, or if you ever get to the point where you're having to bring in motivational speakers to help your mental state, because you can't get up in front of 80,000 of your fans on home turf, in front of a middleweight, you need to retire, boss. It really is as simple as that. This isn't you're supposed to represent more than just your coins. AJ, at the moment, all he seems to be is a representation of coins. In his mind, if it makes money, it makes sense. That's it. That's the first and last priority. As long as coins are coming in, that's all that matters. But you're supposed to carry more than that. You're supposed to be a beacon of light. A beacon of strength. Yeah? You're supposed to be carrying half of Nigeria on your back. You're making Nigeria look super soft, and that's a fact. Yeah? And that's the bottom line here. You're lucky that there's other dons knocking around, like Ngannou. In fact, no, he's not from there, but either way, I'm not sure where he's from, but listen, what about the other man? Usman, whatever his name is, I'm sure he's from Nigeria. Either way, you're lucky. Nigeria are lucky right now. It's not Anthony Johnson, the only one, because he got your country down bad right now. You man looking soft, super soft. Yeah, trust me. If I ever go to a club here and something kicks off, I'm always looking for the Nigerian don to have a go on. Because I'm thinking, wait a minute, all I've got to do is pop him in the mouth and he'll probably back up. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like Anthony Johnson. And I can't lie to you, before when I've gone to the club here and I see some African donnies posted up, I always get kind of shook, because obviously they're big and they're muscly. But now, someone like me, 5'9" and Team Lighty, I think to myself, you know what, I'll probably have a go on him. Yeah? One pop in the mouth and he's going to be looking all big, friendly, giant looking. Yeah, one of them ones. That's what you're going to be doing. Pop him straight in the mouth. And he's going to be like Boogaloo the bear. Oh, yeah, 100%. That's how they move. I'm telling you what it is. Yeah, these big, friendly, nick-looking asses. One pop and they ain't want no more. Yeah, one pop in the mouth and they trying to crack jokes, try and reduce the tension in the room. That's your man Johnston. You can see it. Look at the whole build-up in his fights. The whole build-up, yeah, Anthony Johnston. He's trying to disarm his opponent. And not in a good way. Some people just try and disarm their opponent so they can get their element of surprise. He don't do that. He tries to disarm his opponent because he just wants to de-escalate the situation. He don't want no trouble. I swear to God, that's why you see AJ taking photos. It's almost like, well, look, we're friends, aren't we? You don't want to hurt me. I don't want to hurt you. Let's just try and have a sparring session. Let's try and have a $30 million sparring session. That's what AJ actually wants. And he said it himself in the post-fight interview. He said, I hope all the fans are really happy. It was a wicked fight and it was great to have sparring. I can't wait to go back to training and do some more sparring. I thought, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Yeah? What do you mean it was great and you hope the fans are happy? Hope the fans are happy? You got your ass whooped by a middleweight. You know what I'm saying? You got no... And that's why I'm sure he's a clone, because he's got no sense of self-awareness. He has no idea how things are perceived. He's just a dopey clone. Yeah, one of them ones. Just a goofy... Yeah, that's 100%. Every time I look at Johnson, that's what comes to mind. A big boogaloo, big friendly boogaloo bear. That's what it is. I really do apologise, but that's the bottom line. And the worst thing is, that's what his opponents see. That's what Usyk saw. How do you think Usyk came out there and popped him straight in the mouth? It wasn't because he saw some big nasty dude. He saw a big friendly boogaloo bear in front of him. Yeah. That's what it was. And that's how it played out. Boogaloo bear got popped in the mouth and AJ was still trying to be friends. He was, the whole night, trying to be friends. And it gets even worse, because the few times he popped Usyk in the body, Usyk got hurt and AJ backed off, which shows you he wanted to be, you know what I mean? Sorry I hurt you. Let me rub that for you. Yeah? Let me back off. Let me back off so you can recover. Because God forbid I actually start hurting the middleweight. That's your man, Anthony Boogaloo Bear Johnston. Yeah? 100%. And you got people like Vitali, the greats. I told you before, the greats had a commission this week, commission meeting, because the sport at the top, specifically it's Johnston, but in the main, a whole lot of them. But Johnson is the flag bearer for down badness right now. That's a fact. He sums up everything going wrong with society and masculinity right now. Yeah, he a flag bearer for it. He the number one down bad flag bearer in Don right now, 100%. And Vitali, do you know how bad it's got to be for we know Vitali is very respectful. He don't comment on much. Like I said, I've never heard him speak once, to be honest. Let's be real now. Even he couldn't sit there and watch this anymore. He had to come out and beg Johnston to find just a little piece of testosterone. Please, Johnston. Even though we all appreciate your swimming in estrogen, please just find a little piece of test. Yeah? Just ring one of Dillian White's cats and get some D-ball in you. Yeah, we know Dillian White loved a D-ball. Ring AJ. Ring. Vitali told me to tell you. Please ring Dillian White and get some D-ball. Yeah, get you nice and plumped up. Or better yet, ring. You know what I'm saying? One of them ones. Ring one of them cats. Or ring Kel Brook and tell Kel to put you on the phone to Dom Ingle, aka Dom Juicegal, and he'll get you a full stack. Get you a proper good cycle in you. I think that's what Johnson needs. I think Johnson, yeah, he needs a good cycle. That will sort him out. Get him on I reckon AJ needs a good 12-week cycle and some good weights to pump. That will get him back on it, I reckon. Because something's missing here. I don't believe it. I don't believe what I'm having to witness. And this shows you how bad it is. Vitali begging Anthony Johnston to find a little piece of backbone. Wow. I'd be embarrassed, honestly. If one of my peers, if one of my old time peers had to come out and beg me to find some sort of courage, it's super bad. But me saying that doesn't change the facts that, this was necessary, by the way. I'm not saying this to, it's over. No. What Vitali's doing here is 100% needed. Someone needs to say it. Because I've been saying it. That's the thing, though. I do have to admit. I know I sound like I know it all, but it's true. Vitali is saying it now, but I've been saying this for years now. And it fell on deaf ears. People said I was mad. I was wrong. Are you telling me Vitali wrong as well then? Are you telling me that, okay, YB, you're wrong. You call for the last few months and weeks and years, all the AJ superfans have been telling me, YB, you're reading the room wrong. No, it's not true, AJ, there's nothing wrong with him. He's not been cloned. He's still rock hard. He loves to get stuck in and you're just a hater. Okay, so are you saying that Vitali a hater too then? Has Vitali completely read the room wrong? That AJ is soft like butter. Yeah? because we both can't be wrong. It's either we're both wrong or we're both right. Which is it? You tell me. As to one of the greatest fighters in the... Well, certainly, really, Vitali's probably the greatest fighter of the last 20 years, truth be known. So you tell me, is the greatest fighter of the last 20 years wrong about reading or smelling the aromas coming off Anthony Johnson right now? I don't think so. And honestly, I'd be embarrassed if I was around. If anyone involved with Anthony Johnson should be seriously embarrassed of this. It doesn't like trash talk is one thing, but this goes a whole nother. It goes a whole lot deeper than that. There's trash talk and woofing, and then there's this. Wow. Proper. He's asking you to properly evaluate your life. Please, Johnston. Yeah, don't do it. Can you imagine that? An elder having to tell you to fix up, but do it. But the thing is, what makes it worse for me is he does it in a way that's like, he doesn't want to come across confrontational. He's not saying, oh, you're a bum and you're scared. He's actually just begging you to find it within yourself. It's actually sad. That's what I'm saying. It's actually sad. We hear Tyson Fury trolling all the time and whatnot, but that's one thing. This is another level. He's pleading with you, please, AJ. Please don't do it. Please have some courage. Please find your nuts. Damn. No word of a lie, if someone ever says this about me in some sort of way, I'm going to retire in whatever I'm doing, because it can't work. It's not right. Elders shouldn't need to be doing these kind of things. They shouldn't need to be crying out for help. Or they shouldn't be able to, you know what I mean? They shouldn't be having to cry out to help yourself. So Johnston, you need to retire. That's the bottom line here. That's what Vitali is saying. Vitali is saying, Johnson, just think about it, AJ, put yourself back in 2014. What would you say if you knew in 6 years' time you'd be doing the things you're doing now? Just trying to scrape up coin wherever you can. No shame, no pride, no ego. Just a coin chaser. Yeah, coin cuck. You are literally selling your backside to the highest bidder. That's what you're doing.